Good morning once again, and welcome to the Haven Financial Group radio show. Feel free to give us a call if anything's resonating, if you have questions, worries, concerns, maybe a question you've had for years that nobody's answered. Reach us at 612-504-8400. Shoot us an email at info@havenfinancialgroup.com. Visit our website. Whatever it takes, we're here to help. We'd love to have a conversation. A lot going on in this world, and there's lots of questions that people have and worries and concerns. And sometimes it just takes a good partner to lean on that you can visit with and talk to. I always say there's no quotas to how many times we can get together. We're all here to answer the questions and field those concerns. So again, 612-504-8400. There's no cost to give us a call and come in and visit with us.
Kyle Thomas is with us today, and we're so glad that he could join us. He's a certified financial planner there with the Haven Financial Group. Kyle, we want to talk a little bit about strategies to consider to mitigate market risk. Well, the market is pretty volatile right now. Certainly, you want to make sure that you're protecting your money that's in the market, and you want to protect dollars that you have elsewhere. So let's talk a little bit about some of the strategies at Haven Financial Group you guys use to make sure that someone's portfolio is being protected during these times. Annuities, for example, is that something that you guys use there at Haven to make sure the portfolios are protected?
Yes, it is a tool that we use, and the way that we look at what tools we're actually going to implement for a portfolio is, we pick that overall risk profile, and then we have an allocation of stocks, and then bonds and annuities. And why we're doing that is because we're trying to create diversification. We have not just, a couple stocks within that stock portion. We have hundreds of stocks. And in the bonds portion, we have hundreds of different types of bonds as well. And then with the annuity piece, that adds another nice dimension to the diversification because that part cannot go down. Whereas stocks and bonds can go down. Earlier when we were talking in the show, I said in 2022, when those rates increased, stocks were down. The S&P was down 19.5% that year. Bonds were down 13%. Annuities would have been down 0%, or you could even made money in that year. So that's why we diversify into those three different buckets. And annuities play a critical role in the diversification because now if the market has a down year and you need to take income from your portfolio, well, we can take it from the annuity that's probably actually made money, not necessarily lost money where stocks and bonds could have. Then you don't have to draw down on those losses. You can let those recover.
Kim, just let me interject because you mentioned annuities, and yes, they can be a useful tool within a portfolio. However, I've done this a lot of years, and I encourage folks to go to my website. I think it's on the calendar, The Truth About Annuities. I teach this class a couple times a year. The problem is with annuities that most people don't know which one of the four types that they have. And all annuities are not created equal. Folks don't have to have any annuities at all. They can be part of a very good portfolio, but they're not created for everybody. And the problem is, I just saw it a handful of times this past week, folks that had an annuity, they didn't know which one they had or two that they had, and they were completely in the wrong type considering their circumstances. And neither one of them had any idea how much fees they were paying. Here's all I'm going to say is there's immediate annuities, there's variable annuities, there's fixed, and there's fixed indexed. If you're listening and you don't know which one of the four you have, my offer to you today was come on in, let's do an annuity exam or an annuity review, and you'll walk out knowing which one of the four. That in itself might be benefiting to you. You might be stuck because a lot of people are, and but at least you'll know which one of the four you have. Yes, they can offer guarantees. Is it the right guarantees? The couple this past week, they had done a great job saving, and they had income riders they were paying for that they'll never need. It was counterintuitive to their overall retirement portfolio and their planning. And again, you can pay whatever you want to pay, but make sure you're getting the results from something. Make sure that they didn't sell you a bill of goods. And unfortunately, I see that way too often.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you are stuck then with no way to get out. Annuities are all um, they're all insurance based, correct? That's correct, right?
Yeah, all
Insurance
annuities
companies
are
offer.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, all annuities are through insurance companies.
Okay.
Are they right for you? I have no idea. They're not
Right.
for everybody, but you have to keep in mind there are some folks out there that the only thing they have in their toolbox is annuities.
Hmm.
Well, what do you think they're going to try to get you into? It's the only tool they have in their toolbox. Let's look
Hmm.
at all the tools. And Kim, you've heard me say this for years. We want to make sure we have good liquidity, which is very important, stock market investments, and principal protected in investments. What's the right percentages in each one? I'm not sure, but we like to see 50 to 100 grand liquid. Some people would say, why so much? Because maybe they call it the bucket strategy. Well, that can be, we want all the options on the table, especially right now when the market's all over the place and you want to make sure you have options. You don't want to be drawing money out of the market when the market's down.
Right.
Well, if you have money in the bank or in some sort of other investments like CDs, money markets, et cetera, high yield savings, guess what? Now you have all the options to choose from. And you know what? Options, those are good to have when it comes to money.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, let's talk about some of the other, strategies that can be used, and you've named a few of them. But when we say annuities and they are all issued by insurance companies, there are other insurance products out there that can be used.
Yeah, Glenn and Isabella, specifically Glenn, we have insurance products, whole life insurance products, index universal life that can help build cash and really limit some of the market exposure. They can offer another layer of protection, if you will. If you have life insurance, I encourage you to have a life insurance review. There are other means that people are using because a lot of the rules with IRAs have changed in recent years. They're called life insurance retirement plans, LIRPs. I'm not going to get into the weeds with that. Come on in. It's a way to have tax-free money with some of that money. That's going to be for legacy purposes as well. So again, let's look at all the all the options, not just some of the options.
Sure, absolutely. A couple of those that are worth mentioning: money market accounts, CDs, as you mentioned, and then, of course, just the whole idea of constant rebalancing and diversification. Those are two strategies that are they're really important.
Absolutely. And with where rates have been at the last couple of years, those money market rates have been really attractive. CDs have been attractive as well. But overall, bonds have been attractive if you were to be looking at those in the last couple of years. And one thing I will say too on the CD part is treasuries have been as high as CDs for interest for the last few years. The amount of people that come in to our office and say they have a CD from the bank is very high. And I would just urge people to make sure you check with us or someone else who isn't a bank to see what kind of rates you can get, because most banks are offering their own product for CDs. But CDs might not even be a good option for you, because you could purchase a treasury for the same exact yield to maturity or earnings potential, and then you don't pay any state tax on the interest. Or some people could even benefit from municipal bonds, and then you don't pay any federal or state tax on the interest. So it also matters what type of bonds that you buy. So that's another layer to just, that fixed income side of things with that. And then making sure, you rebalance a diversified portfolio to make sure you're properly allocated to all of the different categories that we talked about in timely manner. Because when there's volatility in the market, it's not comfortable for the investor, but it actually allows us to do a better job for the investors.
We've talked about a lot of strategies here, and they all have their pros and cons. And again, if you're putting together a tailored plan, some of these are good for you. Some of them may not be so good. You're not expected to know all of that. When you're putting together a retirement portfolio, really what you want is a partner, somebody who does know the ins and outs, who knows the best answers, who can take a look at what's available, take a look at what your goals are, and make the two match make the two meet in the middle. Let's give the telephone number how you can reach the folks here at Haven Financial Group if you'd like to sit down, if you're looking for a partner to help you do just that. That number is 612-504-8400. Again, it's 612-504-8400. Give them a call. Let them know you heard us here on the radio and you'd like to come in, sit down, and talk a little bit about what you're trying to achieve with your retirement. When we come back, we're going to talk about how a financial advisor can help you with those financial decisions. This is the Haven Financial Group Radio Show.